Hey everyone, my name is Cherith Fluker, and I am the blogger and podcaster behind WhatCherithinks. If you have not had an opportunity to visit WhatCherithinks, I will place the link below so that you can visit when you finish this video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cherith Fluker, and I am an educator, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I am a writer. I guess I can say now that I have published over 20 blog posts on my blog, and I have also guest blogged on Birmingham Mom Collectives, and I also have a couple of things up my sleeve that are coming really soon. So you're probably wondering, what is What Cherith Thinks? Well, right before the pandemic, I lost both of my parents. I lost my dad in November of 2019, and just 3 months later, I lost my mother. And that was right before this pandemic. So I obviously was not in a good place, but I knew that I had to do something to get myself to the place where I needed to be in order to keep going with life. I feel strongly that you can't control the circumstances that happen to you, but you can control your response. And I knew that I wanted to respond in a positive way to all of the hurt and pain that was happening in my life. And I knew that this was something that could bring me happiness and something that would also make my parents very proud. So I kind of use my blog and my podcast as a way to stay connected to them, as a way to stay happy. And a way to just do something positive with all of the negative energy that I was feeling. I know it sounds strange that I say that, this blog and podcast is a way for me to stay connected to them, but I know for a fact that it would be something that they would be very proud of. My parents were always very proud of the things that I have done in life. They're always my biggest supporters, my biggest cheerleaders anytime I ever did anything. And so I know that that would be the same thing with this. And so it's a way for me to make them proud and also to do something that I love doing. So I started thinking about how I wanted to move forward with life during the pandemic. There was a lot of time for us to just kind of think, I guess, during the quarantine, because we were all home, which is very different for a lot of us, I'm sure. So over the quarantine, I spent time just kind of planning the blog, planning the launch, planning what it would look like, what would appear on the blog, what I wanted the podcast to be about. And the blog is a lifestyle blog, and I talk about topics like family, which is very important to me, travel, beauty, which is fun for me, self-care, which is very important to me. After I lost my parents, I started going to therapy, and that was one of the things that my therapist kind of told me, is that you've got to take care of yourself so that you can continue to do the things in life that you want to do. And that included taking care of my family, working, and all of those things. So self-care has become very important to me. And it's important for me to not only take care of myself, but also to promote self-care. So that's something that I will definitely do on the blog. So again, if you haven't had the opportunity to visit, I really hope that you will, because I really try hard to put information there that will help others, but I also try hard to have fun. So you'll see that there are some topics that are kind of, not so serious, which is what I hope that you will see, that there's a serious side to the blog, but there's also a very fun side to the blog as well. And that's something that I hope to convey as I use this platform to support people in finding happy. That's my plan. On the podcast, I kind of stay true to myself as an educator. I plan to explore topics that will encourage, support, inspire educators of all types, teachers, administrators, stakeholders, students, anyone who has any interest in education. I think that that's where you should go, is to the podcast, because that's where parents, friends of educators, things of that nature will be there. So I hope that you will listen to the podcast. The plan is for new blog posts to be published each week, and I've kind of stuck to that plan for the first month, and that is the plan moving forward. And also there will be a new podcast episode each week. Some of the podcasts will be solo episodes where I will just talk to you by myself, and there will also be opportunities for me to interview people in the field, parents. There's just so many wonderful people who have a part in education that I will be interviewing, and I'm so excited about that. I've launched 5 episodes of the podcast, and I have had a really great response there as well. So I appreciate all of you who are listening. Please continue to like, share, and comment. That definitely helps the podcast to gain momentum and get more people to listening, which is what I hope. If you listen to the podcast on Apple Podcast, please make sure to take a moment to leave a review. That definitely helps to push and boost the podcast so that other people can find it. As of yesterday, I think that I have had over 700 listens to the podcast. So I was very, very excited about that. Again, the podcast is just a little over a month old. And also I started a Facebook group where I will put information about the blog and the podcast in the Facebook group, and it is WhatCherithinks also. So there, again, you will find information about the blog and the podcast, and we'll just talk about things that are on both. And I am happy to say that I have already reached over 500 members of that Facebook page, and I'm really, really excited about that because I started the Facebook group probably the day after I started the actual blog and podcast. So in just a little bit over a month, there's already over 500 followers on the Facebook page. So I'm really excited about that. Again, I'm so excited about where the blog and podcast are going, and I can't say enough how much I thank you, because this isn't possible without you. So if you will just please continue to like, share, comment, engage with the content, and I promise you I will keep working hard to bring you relevant and fun and interesting content. Thank you to those of you who have inboxed me to say what you like and what you didn't like. I appreciate all of that criticism because it helps me to grow. I want to make sure that I'm putting out things that you find valuable and things that you find fun. So I definitely invite your criticisms. I invite your encouragement. I invite your support. So thank you so much for being a part of What Cherith Thinks. And again, just continue to like, share, and help me to get the word out about my new platform. Thank you.